K-12 physio again. Well, my videos from last week about mask wearing took off like wildfire, which is great because I think it encouraged some discussion and hopefully raised some awareness about wearing masks. Some of those discussions, we had some people saying, yeah, okay, but what about when you're moving? What about thicker masks? So I did an N=1 experiment this morning on myself. I went on the treadmill and I wore a mask, and not just any mask, I decided to wear my thicker mask. So I had purchased this one for battling forest fire smoke that had been going on for the past few summers. So it's quite thick. It has a filter in it. The cloth is quite thick. It's designated an N99 for air particulate. So it has quite a bit of resistance to breathing. So this is the mask that I used. It fits quite tight to my face with an adjustable nose strap as well. So I'm going to share with you what happened on the treadmill. So here we go. There we go. Okay, so I'll explain this a little bit better for you, is that this measures what's called end tidal carbon dioxide, so EtCO2. And the amount of carbon dioxide that we exhale is about the same as what you'd find in your blood. Now, the gold standard for blood gases is an arterial blood gas. Obviously, I'm not going to be doing that to myself for this, nor do I have the skills to do that. But it's a way to at least monitor carbon dioxide levels, and for that matter, how people breathe. So let me describe the screen to you here. So what happens is all these little waves are my breath. So this is breathing out, and then this one's breathing in, okay? Right here, this line is kind of the low end of normal. So normally we would expect between 35 and 45 millimeters of mercury of carbon dioxide in our exhaled air. So again, breathing out, breathing in. Okay. So this is me walking on the treadmill at 1.4 miles per hour. Okay, so 1.4 miles per hour. This is me. You can see I'm breathing out and breathing in, no mask on, kind of between just over 35 and a 37. This is probably a swallow, maybe one of those. So I'm breathing through my nose, which has to happen in order to measure this. So I'm walking on the treadmill and I put my mask on now. So this is why it's a little bit weird, because I had to get off the treadmill, put my mask on, adjust it, and then start walking. So now we can see that, okay, here we are. So like 40 there, but then kind of back down, like it's pretty well normal. It's kind of unchanged. And this is for 1 minute and 40 seconds that I'm on the treadmill, wearing my mask, again, this heavy mask. CO2 is pretty much unchanged. Not too much about my breathing changes. I will tell you what it felt like is I could feel resistance. I could feel humidity and my breath coming back on my face. I didn't love it, but nothing was going on. And actually after about a minute, I'd settle into a pretty normal, steady state. Like you just kind of, oh, okay, this is what my breathing's gonna feel like now. So then I thought, well, 1.4, I'm not a very slow walker, so I know that when I'm in the grocery store, I'm gonna be hustling around. Okay, so what's 2 miles per hour like? Again, flat treadmill, and you can see there's not a whole lot of change. I'm still in this like 37, 38, 40, again, totally normal, because this is normal. Once we get above this line, that we're starting to think that we have carbon dioxide issues or retention issues. So again, really not a big deal. My breathing's a little bit faster because I'm walking faster. So that's going to happen. And then I decided, well, okay, well, what if I was going for a walk? And so this is, oops, sorry, I went too far. Great, bear with me. Technology is my friend. Okay, 2.5 miles per hour. So I'm going, I think, a pretty decent clip. And once again, there's no change in my carbon dioxide. What I can feel is I'm working a little harder for my breathing. So I can feel the mask actually moving in and out. So the work of breathing is increased. So that can be concerning if I'm anxious about my breathing. I do have to work a little bit harder. If you have a breathing pattern issue in that you get nervous about having to work harder about your breathing, or breathing faster makes you feel short of breath, for sure, could make you feel anxious. But from a physiological perspective, again, we're totally normal, okay? So, what I decided to do here is I tried really hard to see if I could get my CO2 up. And what it required me to do, as you can see, so I'm still going 2.5 miles per hour. I had to breathe really slow and really like kind of force the air out and then pause and then breathe in again. And even still, I couldn't get my carbon dioxide levels up to an uncomfortable level or a concerning level. Okay, so again, mask on, 2.5. So then I decided, well, I'm gonna breathe fast and hard, which is what people will do when they feel that resistance of the mask, is you fight it, right? You go, you increase your effort, and you can see what happens is actually my carbon dioxide levels fall because I'm hyperventilating. I'm working too hard at my breathing for what's actually going on in my body. And I would suggest that the majority of people fall into this category. You feel the resistance, it doesn't feel great, so you work harder at your breathing, but you're working harder than your body's working, and we get a mismatch. And now I'm gonna feel short of breath, and now I'm gonna feel lightheaded, and now I'm gonna hate my mask, okay? And then this is me just turning the treadmill off and then sitting for a second or two with my mask on, recovering. And you can see after hyperventilating, I take a couple of slower breaths to kind of really reset everything. And then I'm back to normal breathing. So again, not super scientific. It's an N=1 study, but we know that we don't see an increase in carbon dioxide levels from mask wearing, from our disposable procedural masks or our light. And even this one's, like I said, a heavier cloth mask with a filter in it. Yes, it creates restriction to breathing, but it does not appear to be increasing carbon dioxide levels. If this were the case, we wouldn't be having health professionals wearing masks all day long. There are different things, like again, if the mask gets moist and damp, we need to get rid of it. Things like going to the grocery store and wearing a mask and walking around at less than 2.5 miles per hour, we're not gonna be in trouble. And yeah, anyway, I hope this gives you a little bit of insight into moving around with wearing a mask. And thanks for watching and sharing the videos. I do hope it's been helpful for people. I think that's all I'm going to do on masks for now. So take care. Summer's coming for where I am, so I'm hoping to do a little less social media posts, but there'll still be some rolling through. Take care.